Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2020, and the time is 6 p.m. We are opening the Cultural Council meeting. As a preliminary matter, this is Robin Lawson, Chair of the Newbury Cultural Council. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons are anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Board members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bart Bracken?
Aye.
Marguerite Flanagan? AWOL. Lloyd Hammett?
Hello.
Hello. Margaret Russell?
Hi. Yes.
Amy Thurlow?
Yes.
And our brand new member, Michelle Ouellette.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that correctly, Michelle?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Perfect. Employee reps or other town attendees, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Susan Noyes was here, but she has left.
She's actually back. I'm gonna
She is?
unmute.
Oh, there
Yep,
you are, Susan. She's on mute.
I'm trying. She's definitely having some connection issues.
Yep. Okay. Do you have her on mute, Amy, or does she have herself on mute?
She has herself.
Okay, so let me just whip through this. Good evening. Today is an open meeting of the Newbury Cultural Council, which is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not mean public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Newbury Cultural Council is convening by video conference via Zoom as posted on the Cultural Council agenda, which can be found on the Cultural Council section of the town website. The agenda identifies how the public may join the meeting. This agenda can also be accessed from the website homepage by clicking on the box that says Agendas in the top of the news box. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some or all attendees are participating by video conference. Materials were provided to the board members prior to the meeting for review. Meeting business ground rules. We are now going to read the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. For any discussion items, I, the chair, will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, everyone other than skipping over that. Participants can see you, so please be aware of your surroundings and take care to avoid interruptions of your cell phone or family members. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. Take care not to screen share. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Board members will be called upon in first name alphabetical order to ease the process. If board members wish to engage in colloquy with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourselves. I'm skipping over the next one having to do with public comment since we don't have any public items. That is the close of the preamble. So we can start the meeting for real now.
Sounds good.
Okay? Okay. I am going to flip over to my agenda. I'm going to check my phone because Minnie Flanagan is calling. Let's just check in with Minnie and find out what is going on with her. Hi, Minnie. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah, we're all there. Yep, but you need the ID? You need the passcode? Okay, everybody's waiting for me, so we gotta make this quick. 171294. Okay? I hope so, yep. Okay, bye. All right, so back to our agenda. Welcome our new member, Michelle, who has graciously agreed to be our secretary. Michelle, would you introduce yourself? Would you tell us where you live and why you are interested in joining us on the Cultural Council?
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Willette, and I live on Cottage Road in Newbury. I am very engaged with the arts myself. I enjoy quilting. I just started to learn about making and to play the ukulele, and wanted to spend some time helping the town out. And Amy Thurlow mentioned this committee to me, so I said that I would love to participate.
Wonderful. We're so glad to have you. And let's quickly go around the room and introduce ourselves to Michelle. I'll start very quickly. I live in Byfield, and I joined the council about, I think maybe 4 years ago. I came in and had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but it's been learning on the job. I have been involved in the arts, primarily music, for my entire life. And I actually love being on the Cultural Council because I love giving away money. You're up next, Amy.
So I'm Amy Thurlow. I live across the river from you. I just walked past your house. And this is my 4th year. This is my 1st year as treasurer. And that's about it.
Lloyd?
Lloyd Hamovit. I own Two River Studios. I'm a ceramic artist in Newbury on Middle Road. And I don't know how many years I've been a part of this. I'm just here.
2 years.
2 years. All right.
2 years.
All right.
Margaret?
Hi, I'm Margaret Russell. I live in Byfield. I've been on the council, I believe, for 2 years as well. Robin invited me. I'm a hand weaver and have been hand weaving for over 40 years, and just very happy to be a part of a group of artists, artisans, and those that enjoy and support artists and artisans. So welcome, Michelle.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Margaret. Bart?
Hi, Michelle. Welcome. I'm Bart Bracken. I'm part of the Byfield Cabal, and I am been on this council for probably a little less than a year, invited by Robin, and excited to be here as I aspire to be more engaged in the arts in our local area.
Perfect. So we're so happy to have you, Michelle. And let's hope that Minnie will be along, and when
She's
she
here.
arrives,
Nope,
we'll.
she's
I am here.
Here's Minnie.
You hear
How come
me?
I can't see you?
Yeah, I know. How do I get this cultural council meeting 6 p.m. thing off?
Oh, there you are.
I
It's
can
in
see
my
you
way.
There
fine-ish.
you are. Minnie,
Yes.
would you quickly introduce yourself to everybody? Well, really to Michelle, who is just joining us.
I will. Can you tell me how to get this thing out of my off
What
my
thing?
screen?
What thing?
Cultural council meeting 6 p.m. today. Agenda items. Blah blah blah.
Oh, I'm sharing the agenda.
Screen share.
Yeah,
Because it's covering me up. Let me see.
Oh, no, we can see you.
we can see you.
Yeah, but I can't see.
Here, I'll
you.
just stop sharing and make everyone's life easy. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, that's better. Okay, beautiful. Hi. I am so glad to be here. I hate Zoom. I'm on a frenzy right now over Zoom. And
Here
I
you
hate
are.
COVID and I hate all of it. But soon it'll be over
High
and we'll
five.
be together again. And where's Michelle?
I'm here.
There's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. I'm usually very calm, but these
Indeed.
meetings just make me crazy because I always struggle.
And Minnie usually calls me just right before or as the meeting is starting. So I'm so used to it by now. I don't get flustered
No, it's
anymore, Minnie.
And
I
And
have
I'm
in the
the
past
one
gotten
who
flustered, but
I'm
this
the
time I
one who
didn't.
people usually call, so it's very odd indeed. But anyway, welcome, Michelle. It's very nice to have you.
So Minnie, where do you live and what's your interest in the arts and the cultural council?
Where I live on Plum Island, and my interest in the Cultural Council is to participate and offer services to this lovely town that I am fortunate to live in. And it's nice
Excellent.
to be able to do it through the Cultural Council, which, you know, brings great things to our town.
Great intros, everybody. So the next item on our agenda is the handoff of the treasurer's role to the very capable Amy Thurlow. So Amy,
Yes.
we got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but we're yeah. I think we should probably tell everybody kind of what happened there with the questions having to do with some past reimbursements. But we got it straightened out.
We got it straightened out. So Delvena, which is the theater company that does the Anne and Abby and I
Julia Child,
Julia Child's one, that the
Senior Center.
on Aging likes. And so long story short, as soon as I became treasurer, I opened the email and there was an invoice from 2018 for something that we didn't know if it had been done or not. I have no access to any records, but luckily the town had everything and straightened everything out. There's overage in our account, which we were able to use to pay for it. So Delvena is paid after 2 years of asking us to pay them, which was mostly Robin, really, because I was like, I have no access, but it's all.
Well, it was. I had at least had some history, Amy. But those poor people have been bugging me for so long, and I have, I get caught in the middle because I'm not the one who takes care of paying the bills. But the other thing and this was my fault, and this was something that this is a real lesson learned for me. One of the points of confusion is that the lady from the senior center Council on Aging had asked if they could swap programs. And I remember when we actually did a voting modification of a grant a few months back, I didn't realize that I should have done that at the time. So there was massive, I just said, oh yeah, sure. That's what you want? No problem. So there was massive confusion about which program had actually been performed and which hadn't, which was, if things had been going swimmingly, it wouldn't have been a big problem. But anyhow, that was the point of the confusion. So from now on, this is a good point of learning for everybody. If anybody asks for a ratification of their program, it needs to be duly recorded and duly approved so that we don't get all mixed up with reimbursements.
The other lesson we learned from it is I'm going to make an effort to, if I get an invoice, to take a picture of it, send it back into the Cultural Council's email, probably keep folders so that we have data and we have the documents going forward. So we're not in a, did we even ever see this invoice before situation? We'll just have records going forward. And I know that sounds like a brainer, but it wasn't.
I'm sorry about my camera. The other thing that's going to be a big help, and of course this was Amy's idea to begin with, was now we have our own, as we all know, we have our own Cultural Council inbox that we all have access to. Michelle, I need to give you I need to make sure that you have the password for that. And so that's, and in this year's approval letters, I'm going to ask that the reimbursement submissions be sent to that email address, not to me or to Amy, which is also going to help us tremendously with transparency. So these are all lessons learned and best practices that we will implement going forward. Because this year, unfortunately, well, you know what? There's not going to be that many reimbursements. We're going to have a lot of money.
Yeah, I was thinking that today.
Because
actually.
I asked them, I forget where I
interesting.
asked that they be sent. This time I think, no, I know. This year in the approval letters for 2020, I asked that this stuff be sent by mail to town hall, which sounded like a good idea at the time, but needless to say, it's not. So this year's letters, but needless to say, there won't be most of the reimbursements that are going to be submitted have already been submitted, right? We'll have the DocuFast, as you all recall, except for you, Michelle, we approved that grant modification for it to go online. So we'll have that, but there won't be a lot of other submissions because people aren't able to conduct their programs. So we'll just move all that money over to next year. Any comments or questions or anything?
Rob, do you want to give her, Michelle, a rundown? We've all been through at least one grant cycle,
Yes.
but Michelle hasn't. So do you want to give her a little picture as to what she should expect in the coming months?
That is an excellent idea, Amy. Why doesn't someone else do that? Because I've been doing all the talking. Anybody else want to take that one? Don't everybody raise their hand at once.
I just, a real quick point, I just want to make sure. So what you were just saying was if a grantee doesn't use their money, they lose it?
No, the opposite.
So if they don't use it, they're still going to get it?
Yeah, at our last meeting, Lloyd, we all voted to issue an automatic extension through 2021, which is what the Mass Cultural Council advised.
I understand that, the extension, so
Okay.
that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I didn't realize you were talking about the extension. Okay.
Yeah, well, that was kind of lumped in with the other things we were talking about, but that was a perfectly legitimate question. And I don't know what's going to happen with, we just don't know what the applications are going to be this year, but that leads us directly to the next point of discussion, which is Michelle. Essentially what happens is the organizations, what?
Wait, I think you should just ask Margaret to do it.
I think I should. Margaret, why don't you explain to Michelle?
To Amy?
You know who's the next chair of this? You know who the next chair of the Cultural Council is going to be, right? You're looking at her. Amy.
No, it's not going to be. It's going to be Margaret. I was like,
you know, you continue to do the chair's job really well, Amy. You know what happens.
Oh,
Margaret, you want to take it?
I have a really good chance here to mess up my chances for becoming chair if I play my cards right. I don't want to do that to you, Michelle. So let me see if I can do this very basically, but please, anybody, if I miss something, particularly Robin and Amy, step in here, because I've only been through it a couple times. However, we are open for grant submissions by artists, artisans, performers, anyone that will add an arts flavor to our town and the surrounding areas. So it's not just the town of Newbury, but the town of Newbury really does need to benefit from these performances. Yeah, performances. So we are able to review as a group, also individually first, but as a group, we are able to review these submissions. And what we have been doing as of late is looking back, because a lot of them are repeats, and they may be an exact repeat or a show or a performance that was already given very recently in the past. So we really want to spread them out a little bit. And I think the survey that we're going to issue is hopefully going to help us do that, because we as a group have been determining within the group which grants are going to be given. So we have a process, and we really do a lot of discussing, and I like that side of it. We do not lightly just grant to all the different submissions. We really look it over, and we want to make sure, yes, that the town of Newbury benefits, but also our surrounding towns, Raleigh, Salisbury, Newburyport. If there's something that we can do that benefits all at the same time, that's a real positive. So we discuss, and we have a budget that we work from, and we try to be fair to all the submissions, but we cannot give a positive to every single one, but we've come pretty close. So that's where we are, and it really helps for everybody's input as to who is going to receive these grants.
Thank you, Margaret. The applications are due, I believe it's October 15th. They're submitted to the Mass Cultural Council website, and we will receive a new password for the year. Everybody will get it because we're all listed on the Mass Cultural, including you, Michelle, on the Mass Cultural Council website as members of this council with our contact info. So we'll all receive the password, which enables us to go into the grant submissions. It's called the, what's it called, Amy? It's called the something book, and review them. And then we all collectively arrange a date to get together exactly the same way we did with this meeting, so that we can all discuss the grants together. And then once we make our decisions, we have a budget of, last year, 2019, we had a budget of we had a lot of money, $7,000, because there was some carryover from unclaimed grants. So we were able to, I think we
Pretty much everyone money.
yeah, pretty much everybody. Then last year, I should say not last year, for this year, for 2020, we had a $5,000 grant, which was $1,000 more than in the past, because the Mass Legislature approved an increase in our budget. My best guess, given the situation now, is that we are not going to have that kind of money to play with. However, it's going to be, as I was saying, we were discussing a few minutes ago, I should say, it'll be interesting to see what happens with all the programs that actually were not performed. And it isn't necessarily programs. It could be, for instance, it's the sculpture at Maudsley, or there's a poster exhibit at the library. There's really, as Margaret said, there's a wide variety of types of applications, and we do try to serve all audiences and have variety in what we fund. And as Margaret said, the survey, which we were talking about at the top of the call, which is long overdue actually, the Mass Cultural Council mandate, or not mandate, strongly suggests that the councils conduct a resident survey every 3 years, and I think we might be on 5. And that's largely because of this whole council, as you can tell, Michelle, is almost entirely new. Amy and I had the longest tenure, and that's not that long. So there's been a very steep learning curve for me, as I said a few minutes ago. I didn't even know about the survey. So that's, it's like ad hoc. And as soon as I realized that we hadn't done it, we kind of hopped on it, and then everything was derailed because of the pandemic, but now we're back on track. And Susan is going to handle the survey for us and actually do it through, what is she doing? She's
doing a Google survey. No, Google.
You're doing a Google survey?
Yeah, and she's going to put it on the town website. She can blast it through those channels where we get the notifications of the town meetings. And we were thinking about putting it on the Kind People of Newbury Facebook page and that sort of thing. So, but that was what we found out last time, is Susan can do all of that for us, which is fantastic.
Okay, and Michelle, this is the kind of stuff that I just have not been able to retain, that Amy remarkably does, and this is where we really need your help to take the high level notes, but that kind of stuff, just to kind of jot that stuff down to keep us on track, because I'm telling you, I just cannot retain this information. I just can't.
So Robin,
that's really going to be helpful.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just a couple observations. The first is that I think it's fair to say that it's a lot of the same people, at least from what I'm hearing from people, since I'm so new to this, that tends to be a lot of the same people.
Applicants,
yes, the applications. And one of the goals of the survey is to make people more aware that this council does exist, and hopefully we can expand our exposure a bit. And the other thing I would comment, you may have said this, I may have missed it, that the contributions or the grants tend to be in the $100 to $300 range, maybe some going a little bit more than that. So they're not huge grants. They're generally a small portion of what the costs are for those events. So it's not like we're funding one big event. There's a lot of people that get a little amounts.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we had somewhere around 18 or 20 grant recipients a year ago, or applicants, and we gave most of them money.
And then they also apply to other towns
Right.
or small parcels as well. So they put the money together. So we generally don't fund one massive amount that takes care of someone's expenses. So a little bit comes from wherever they apply.
Yeah, and so we're gonna, chances are we'll fund the entire program at the library, the entire program at the school for the Council on Aging. But if it's an application from, for instance, the Newburyport Choral Society, we're funding, the request might be for $300 or, and ours is one of many, because that's obviously their budgets is much larger. So that's a really good point.
I do have a question as far as the grant timeframe for each year. Does it go on the state town fiscal
Michelle,
year?
you're breaking up a bit.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
You might want to put it in the chat.
Or try turning off your video while you talk. That might help.
Good idea. Sorry, my motherboard on my computer died yesterday,
no.
so I'm using a little tablet. I just had one question. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
A little bit.
Okay. Sorry, guys and gals. The grant time frame is typically within the state and town fiscal year.
No,
That's
it's
the time
no,
frame?
it's calendar year. Calendar year.
Oh, calendar year. Okay.
Yeah. So the organizations are applying by October 15th. We are making our decisions in November. The process is that all of the applicants to which we did not award grants receive notification that they did not get our approval. Then there's a period of 14 days or something where they can come back and complain, dispute that decision, and then once that period is over, then we are permitted to contact the ones we did approve. So those letters go out, their emails go out at the end of the year, around Christmas, New Year's timeframe. And then, so then by the first of the year-ish, January, the grantees know that we have awarded them or not. And then when their program or whatever it is, event has occurred, at that point, they submit the reimbursement materials we were just talking about a few minutes ago, and to prove receipts and whatever, to prove that it actually transpired. That's what Amy will review and verify. And then Amy will give it the okay and notify the town accountant to go ahead and cut the check. Right, Amy? Did I get that right?
Yes, as far as I know.
As far as you know.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for the overview. That was very helpful.
Okay. So I think our next thing on our agenda is I can close the preamble. All right, next thing on the agenda is finalize resident survey and discuss next steps for implementation. So we kind of already did that, but let's go over, I sent you guys all the, I sent you the survey earlier today. And Amy, do you want to do a screen share?
Yeah, I actually did not realize you sent it earlier today. I thought it was just a dupe of the meeting. So see if
I didn't want anybody to say, Robin, I couldn't
I have it right
find
here.
I couldn't
Totally
find the
got you.
survey you sent me a few weeks ago. So
One moment, I got it.
I have it. I can do a screen share, Amy, because I have it open.
Totally up to you. I have it open now.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm having a
So Michelle, for your background, we worked very hard on this survey over 2 or 3 sessions, and we drew on other towns' surveys and some examples that we had from the Mass Cultural Council and came up with our own. this is all approved at this point. We approved it back in February, but what we have done is, or what we did do in February was decided that we needed to rewrite the introduction, which is what we're looking at. So Amy and I tag teamed on this, and that's what you're looking at.
Well, you
We're
were,
looking
and
at-
then it closed itself, so
Oh, it did.
I'm sharing it. I use WebEx more than this, so I'm a little rusty on this one, but let's keep trying.
I do you want me to do it? I can do it. Oh, there you are.
There it is.
Yeah.
So essentially what we're doing is we're reviewing this introduction and making sure that we're all in favor or tweaking it. If anybody else has other ideas or suggestions.
So Michelle, just as and maybe you said this while I was trying to pull this up, it's got to be short because no one likes a long survey and we just want to get to the nitty gritty. I know you did review it, so we want to know who's in our town, what kind of household do they have, do they like culture, what kind of culture do they like?
Excellent. Yeah, I've read it, and I think you made it very simple as far as you checking, you listing out a number of activities and descriptions. Under, and I know you've already approved it, but under number 7, it would be interesting because you mentioned which 3 types of cultural activities. I didn't know if you wanted them to rank them or not, but maybe that's not possible on that type of.
We did talk about that and we just thought that it would be too clunky, I think. Is that what we came up with, you guys? Do you remember? I remember we discussed it.
I was having trouble hearing.
Yeah, I didn't hear the question.
So what she asked was, on number 7, we've got a bunch listed. Do we want to have them rank them? So you like art, you like dance? How much do you like dance on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 to 10? Would it be 3? Would it be a 10? And so on and so forth. And I remember we talked about that, I think, and then we decided no, just for ease of getting through the survey.
Yeah.
But am I wrong?
Clunky might be a good word for it. I mean, we want people, they're not going to spend much time on this. So I think if you're starting to get them to rank each one, then the question is, do we get them all? Do we have to put other in there? And I'm just thinking that, listen, this is just to give us a very high level overview of what people's interests are. I don't think we have to be
other
too
thing,
precise.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't think we have to be too precise.
And I think the other thing at the time was pre-pandemic, we were going to have to hand this out at the dump and at Tender Crop and all of that. And that would have been a really long experience having to fill that out for someone. I think that was one of the reasons we said no as well.
So is that actually what you were asking, Michelle, or were you asking to rank among the 3 that each person chose?
Yes, among the 3 that they chose. But
I didn't see
it's
3.
fine. I totally understand your reasoning.
Okay, so what I'm
No,
under.
that's written poorly. That's actually not accurate. Which of the following 3 types? No, we need to rephrase that question. Because it sounds as though there's 3 types of cultural activities and there's actually what, 10?
Well, yeah, what was the goal? It just looks like a typo. Were we asking them to pick their 3 favorites?
That's what, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think that's what we should write.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Great.
Okay, so I'll revise that on my copy. Oh, no, since everybody can see yours, Amy, why don't you revise it on yours? So which of the following types of activities would you like? And then please choose your top 3, right? There you go, much better.
So is that what you were mentioning, Michelle, or were you saying to rank within those 3, like your first favorite, your second favorite, and your third favorite?
Correct. But if we don't want to get into that nitty-gritty, that's a moot point.
Perfect, looks good.
Okay, all right. So
Minnie has a question. Let me ask you to unmute. I see you. Okay, Minnie, I just hit ask to unmute. So you should see a button. There you go.
Oh, okay. I was unable to unmute myself.
Yeah, sorry, I have to do that for some strange reason.
Oh, okay. Well, I forget now. It's been so long. I forget what I wanted to say. But
Oh,
now
I'm so
I can
sorry.
unmute myself. So that's good. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm sorry. If you remember, just interrupt.
I will.
Why don't we say circle? Circle?
Doesn't matter because it's going to be a radio button when it comes out.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, that kind of.
I'm so old fashioned. What, Lloyd, sorry?
Yes, a question, and I sent this out earlier to Robin. Why are we not mailing this to everyone in the town? That a mailing list of the entire town is available for free.
I thought we were actually.
Bulk rates,
No?
okay? I actually sent you, Robin, the whole list that I acquired. Many people, and then have a drop-off box at the post office.
What post office? My post office.
Our post office in Newbury or in Byfield, or have
Newbury
them
does not. Newbury doesn't have a post office. We go out of Newburyport.
right, but you can have a place to return. We could figure that out. But why don't we mail it as well? Because not everybody does the electronics.
Did she say that we would?
I actually, Amy, I thought she said she was mailing it.
I thought she was emailing it.
Oh, she's emailing it?
That's what I thought.
Well, I'll tell you, I was out of it. I'm sorry.
So that's
guys.
something, Robin, can you clarify that with her?
Yes.
That's. I'm sorry to harp on that, but I have found that we often discard the emails, even if they're, so we're on to something else. But if we get a lot of people, they read their mail. They look forward to it. And,
Okay, I'll get that clarified with Susan. So Michelle, would you make a note of that?
both ways.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry. There you go.
No, I agree. I think of my parents and they would not
Mhm.
read it if I sent them a URL.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good addition to consider. No, I agree.
What on earth does number 8 mean?
Okay.
We did this so long ago.
I know.
Oh, that's a
You
terrible
participate-
question. What
oh.
were we thinking?
Which question now are we on?
8?
Number 8.
8.
I don't think we even need that question, do we?
Well, what were we trying to find? Does anybody remember what we were trying to find out?
I think it's, do you even show up for events that happen?
Or were we trying to, I wonder if we were trying to find out if people were artists themselves.
I think
I thought it was
the question was
engagement.
further on.
Engagement?
Yeah, I thought it was engagement. I mean, do you even pay attention? Do you even care about this?
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Well, then maybe we should move it up. If we want to
How
know
about-
that, then why don't we
How
make
about,
that
how about do you attend?
better?
Hmm. Yeah.
Participate in, do I actually dance? Not that anyone wants to see.
Hmm.
And then you become a little defensive, Do I participate?
Right, right.
I
yeah.
wonder what we're going to do when we receive that information. What are we going to do with it?
Great question.
I think we may be able to create 2 categories, people who don't attend and those who do, and see if there's a variation in the data. I mean, we'll see what comes back. But I think it's important to understand the level of people's engagement in cultural activities.
You can also manipulate these and get a lot of detailed stats from it. And we could, as you said, see if they say no, but they check off things that we don't support anyway. Maybe we need to look at supporting those activities so that they do come out and attend them.
Right. Exactly.
Do we want to leave an open-ended question for suggestions?
We have number 10, I think.
Yeah.
Are there any categories that we don't actually, aren't represented for?
Number 11, yeah, sorry, Minnie. What?
Are there any arts categories that actually are not represented in what we are giving grants to?
No, I don't think so.
I think everything we're listing is represented one time or another, right?
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I think we got them all. I think we represented all of them.
And we didn't list anything that are not represented.
That we could think of, but somebody might think of something.
And that's
Somebody might.
right. And that's number 11.
11. Mm-hmm.
So there is an open-ended number 11, if we did somehow miss something that
Yes.
someone would be interested in, then that would be, you know, I'd like to see number 11 come back with some filled in spaces.
I did just propose this wording on number 10. It originally read, "What are your priorities for funding from us?" I think maybe we can rephrase that a bit. And I just sketched out, how would you recommend the Newbury Cultural Council prioritize?
Yep.
Otherwise, it looks like
That's nice.
a little different. I don't know, it just looks a little wonky. Is
I agree.
that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
Good
More
question,
about-
Mark. Yeah.
I don't see, I think Amy, you shared with me that you have in the past helped fund the literary festival, and that's not really outlined here unless you consider cultural festival literary, which I would not.
That's not represented in the list.
You want to add literature?
I would think, well, I would put that under cultural festivals, but
You can be specific.
sure, why not?
Because literature could also be author events.
Yeah.
And the like.
Literature, readings, that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay.
Oh, reading, that's a good addition, Lloyd. Yeah. Oh, poetry readings. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lambs. Okay.
All right.
So we just want a yes, no answer. Amy, would you scroll back up on number, which one? Okay, number 8. So just going back to that, do you attend local cultural activities? Right, so we just want a yes or no, and if we do so, that would probably be better to define. That's what we're looking for.
Or we could give 3, often, sometimes, never.
Okay,
Yeah,
People might not want to say no,
right.
even
But
if they
just
don't.
so that someone reading this, there's not a lot of spacing there. So someone reading this, do I need to write something in here or am I selecting? Yeah, that's. And then-
So once, just as a side note here, once we figure out if we are physically mailing it, we can space that out a little bit better. If you're looking at it going, I don't know how someone would circle that. I think that's part C of this, just cleaning it up depending on the format in which it's being sent.
Mhm. Okay.
that might have to be in 2 formats. But anyway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There's a typo there at the end of 9 on listservs.
No, there is not.
That's how you say it, but computer doesn't speak it.
Isn't there an E between the V and the S?
Nope.
No.
Oh, there isn't?
No.
No.
Computer speak.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Learned something new today, Minnie.
I sure did.
Is this at the end necessary, this sentence, these 2 sentences? Because I think it, oh, let me pause. I'm sorry, make you dizzy for a minute. You used to say it in the beginning. Maybe Robin, you moved that to the bottom.
I might have. We distinctly wanted to encourage people to submit grants.
Do you want to say, contact us at the above email if you have questions about how to submit grants? And then Robin will reply.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. My thought on that is it looks like we're just stating a fact.
It's a little dry.
Well, yeah, because we don't say how.
You want to give them a link?
Well, we have the email right above. Do we want to keep the question 12 now that we have a pretty full complement? I say yes, but
Yeah, I would keep that in there.
I agree.
It's always good.
Okay.
Can you say, instead of we encourage residents, why don't we say, please submit applications, due date October so-and-so, and then maybe the URL. What's wrong with just like telling them to submit an application? It's more active.
Yeah, except that it just seems like a bit of an anomaly because this is a resident survey, not, you know, I think we would need to say if you have, I mean, how many people are actually going to submit a grants application,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So if we said something along the lines of if you have, well, let's think about this for a sec.
Do you,
If you are interested in
more
submitting
information?
a grant,
More information.
visit the Mass Cultural site.
Yeah.
For more information.
Yeah.
Well, you could start off by simply saying grant submissions for this next grant cycle are due in October. If contact whatever to get further information.
Okay.
Well, yeah, contact us at our email for further information, but I like your idea of including the URL.
I'm trying to get
Go
that back.
directly to the Mass Cultural
Yeah.
Council and get the information. They don't actually need to talk to us,
Right.
right?
If you're going to say you mentioned the deadline was the 15th, I would not say the grant cycle is in October. Otherwise, if they go on the 16th and it's not available, somebody might get disappointed.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. Let me just go and get that information right now.
And I don't think you need to number 12. I think that can just be the.
True. Yeah.
It's not a question. It's.
Oops, undo. I'm just gonna do this. Robin, you can fill that in when you have the date. We don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ta-da!
It's I just want to get you the URL, but yeah, no, let's keep going. Okay, so let's see, what else are we doing? We are.
Looks good to me.
Panel book, that's what it's called, the panel book.
Yes, it is.
Yep. All right.
Do you think, actually, now that I read all three, I was thinking number 6, do you use the town library? Would make it look skewed, because if you say yes, then maybe we'll give the things that the town library requests money precedence over the others, but we've also got children and seniors. So those are the 3 big requesters usually. So I guess that is okay. Okay.
Well,
Done.
I move that we approve the survey.
Second.
That third.
All right. All right. So now for video conferencing, do we all have to vote properly?
No.
Okay.
All right, so the application deadline, the grants are available. You can submit a grant beginning September 1st. Michelle, I'm going to send you this info.
Okay.
Only email address, guys, sorry, I'm sorry. The only email address I can't think of is Minnie's off the top of my head. But I was gonna send it to everybody.
Oh, I'm not sure which one I gave you, but it's just use MGFLAN.
Got it.
Yeah, or you can just reply all to the email I sent out earlier today.
I'm not in my Outlook right now, so it's just.
Okay, oh, okay. All right, so
Yeah,
did we get,
done.
I'm looking at like 17 different documents. Oh, did we get through our agenda, everybody?
I think so.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so we don't need to vote, but we can move to adjourn though.
Second.
Oh, wait, before we move to adjourn. Next steps are, Michelle, Amy, you'll send out the survey. We'll get that finalized. I will send it to Susan and tell her that we made some changes, which contradicts what we told her, or what I told her earlier. I will find out from her what the distribution channels are going to be. And we'll get, I'll get a firm date from her. So now that we know that I'm 99% sure that the deadline is October 15th. So we normally will meet sometime in, all right, so the question is, do we need another meeting? I think we probably do, to have another meeting before our, before the grants, our grants meeting, besides the informal meeting. Michelle, we always have an informal meeting, which we may or may not do this year. Because we've been meeting a lot more this year than we have in the past for obvious reasons. So the question is, we're probably going to need one more meeting before the grant cycle, right? It's not our informal meeting on the survey. Do we agree?
I think to finalize the distribution channels. and
Okay,
then
I think we
that's it.
need
Should-
one more meeting with Susan to just kind of cover off on all this stuff. I was hoping that I actually, to tell you the truth, I thought she was staying for this meeting. Oh, and everybody, she apologized profusely for the goof up 2 weeks ago. Just, I'm passing that along. So let's do this. Let's set up another meeting. Can anybody, she has a day job. So if we were to move this meeting, say back to closer to 5 o'clock, can people make it then to make it a little bit easier for Susan to join us? Bart?
Do my best. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody can make it around 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask her that, and because I hate to extend her day so late. But let's leave it at 6 unless it's a hardship for her. But now that I know that 5 might work. So do we want to, let me just send out another email and I'll pick a date rather than try to do it now. I'll pick a date and we'll do it via email because we want to get a much better read from Susan about where she is with the survey before we set up another meeting. Make sense?
But it will have to be soon.
Yep. Yeah, she just was talking about her, Minnie, I think you missed this. She was talking about she has to use up 3 weeks of vacation. So we'll be working around her for the next steps. All right, so let's get that all clarified with her, and then I'll do that with her, and then I'll let everybody know what the disposition is, or maybe I'll copy everybody, but I don't like to do a lot of big group emails. It's unwieldy. Okay? I'll let you know
Sounds
when
good.
what happens. Okay?
All right.
Stay healthy out there.
You too.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Move to adjourn, second. Bye.
Second, bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.